Java programming. In this lecture, we shall go through class fundamentals. Already we have been using class, but we will get into the understanding of class and then objects, because Java is an object-oriented program. And from now onwards, we are going to get into this object-oriented uh, programming. So the skills you are going to learn during this lecture and the following lectures, first of all, know the fundamentals of the class. Secondly, understand how objects are created. Understand how reference variables are assigned. Create methods that return values and also use parameters. Use of the return keyword. You're already familiar in C programming. We have been using return keyword in most of the functions. Similarly, we'll add parameters to a method and write constructor methods. Also create parameterized constructors. So all these things were skills we are going to learn, and these are essential skills because after all, object-oriented programming, writing methods is very important in Java. And of course, we're already using that new operator. We will again get into the use of new operator and understand how it is being used and why it is used. In C programming, you came up to structure and union. And as you see here, the structure, how do you declare a structure? It's a struct employee type and give all the other variables. So we are grouping all the related variables of different types into one record. And then to create a variable, so I say struct emp type employee type, and emp becomes the variable. So this is a structure. This is the template really. It's like having the printing plate. We don't store the information on the printing plate. From the printing plate, I create the prints, and into that I enter data. Similarly, so this is how we did. Now from structure, we go ahead in the case of Java, and we create a class. Very similar to structure. Instead of structure, you say class name, and declare instance variables. Now, what's the difference between a structure and a class? In a structure, we only have the various kinds of variables, different kinds of variables of different types. They are put together, that's all. Whereas in the case of class, we are going to have all the instance variables. So we are starting from variable 1 to variable n and their types here. But we are going to have the methods, or what we call functions in C. These are going to be declared inside this class name, particular class name. So for example, type, method, parameters passed, the body of the method, method 2, method 3, method n. There could be n methods. So this is the difference, therefore, between a structure and a class. Again, to repeat, in structure, we have only the variables. The first part, instance variables, only are declared in a structure, and all the functions are declared outside the structure, and usually they are written after the main. We give the prototype of those functions from the beginning of main, but in this case all the functions are declared inside the class along with these instance variables. So that is the difference. So therefore, a class is a template, as I said, just like a printing plate that defines the form of an object. Java uses a class specification to construct objects. So from a class, we create objects. As we did in the case of structures, we created a new data type. From new data type, we created different variables. So here we are going to variables which are objects here in this case. A class specifies both data and the code. Data, the variables, and the code is given in the methods or functions. So objects are instances of a class. So From class, I create an instance, and that instance becomes an object. We will come to know practically how to create objects. Thus, a class is essentially a set of plans that specify how to build an object. So it is important to be very clear on one issue. A class is a logical abstraction. So you cannot store into anything into that. Only I create an object and we use that object and the methods which accompany objects to do whatever we want to do. So it is not until an object of that class has been created that a physical representation of that class exists in memory. So this is very important. Let us see, we will understand as in when we go through exercises which we are going to start immediately. So let us start with this. I have a vehicle. I want to, now vehicle is going to be my object. Now first of all I would like to ask, what are going to be the variables? What are going to be associated with vehicle? For example, I will have certain number of passengers, maybe a small vehicle 2, maybe 4, maybe 8, like that. And fuel cap, the fuel capacity of a vehicle. Every vehicle has different kinds of fuel capacity, depends on the tank. So fuel capacity and mileage, kilometers per liter, how much mileage it is going to give. So these are 3 variables associated with the vehicle, and it is common to any type of vehicles. So you may have different kinds of vehicles. For example, as you see, here you have got different types of truck is there, and we have got sports car is there, a car is there, and an armored car. Different kinds of vehicles, but all these vehicles will have, as you see, the number of passengers, fuel cap, and kilometers per liter. So what do? We create a class called vehicle. So class vehicle, and it contains at the moment only variables, as it is in the case of structure. We are going to start with that, then we will add methods. So we'll get used to this. So we have got a class called vehicle, and it gives 3 variables: passengers, fuel cap, and kilometers, the mileage it is going to give. So what do I do now? I can create an instance of that vehicle car, a reference, declares a reference to the object. Car becomes the reference of the vehicle type. Then I have to allocate memory to that. So what we do, I say car is equal to new vehicle. So allocates vehicle objects. Now it is allocating an object to that. Here just a reference is there. I am creating an object here now, or assigning certain amount of memory to this car. So you can combine both these, and I can say vehicle car equal to new vehicle. So this is how we usually write. I create an instance and then allocate vehicle object to that. So I use this operator new to do that. So this is going to be done all through the exercises when we are going to write programs. So this way I have created a car here, an object called car. So let us see, as I mentioned, all these are different vehicles. I can create an object sports car, I can create an object called truck, and then car, and then armored car. So then again, as we have shown there, we can say therefore vehicle, say sports car, equal to new, then vehicle. So that is how I create an object. So for examples are here. So this is my class called vehicle. So I'm doing the demo now, vehicle demo. So in this main, I create an object called car, as I've shown you earlier. Then I've got one more variable called range, the range, how many miles or how many kilometers it is going to run, etc. So now I'm assigning values. So car is my object. So car dot passengers, because it's a vehicle type, I assign 4. Car dot fuel cap is 50 liters. Car dot kilometers per liter, 35. It runs 35 kilometers per liter. So these are the data. I am assigning the data directly here to this car. So now then I have created range. I calculate the range. Range is car fuel into car fuel cap. How many kilometers it can go for the this fuel cap. So that is the meaning of that. So here we have the range. So then I said system out print car will travel so much range when the tank is full, etc., etc. And how do we do that? Again, as we have done earlier, Java vehicle demo.java. So I compile it, then I use execute it using Java virtual machine, and then it gives you the car will travel 4,000 kilometers when the tank is full with the 80 liters of gas, and with the mileage 50 kilometers per liter. So then the liters of gas with 4 passengers. So this is the output of this simple program, which is called vehicle demo. As you see, this is a vehicle demo, and I've assigned these values, and then I've calculated range, and then I'm displaying that. So with using vehicle class, I've created an object here. So this is very important. We have created an object called car using this vehicle class. Let us get into one more example here. As you see, same thing. We have got this class called vehicle. So this time I am creating two vehicles, one car and sports car. As you see here, using same two cars, one car and sports car. I use it. This is a car object, sports car object. So then I've got range car and range sports car. First I assign therefore this values 4, 50 and 35. I get the range, calculate the range and display the range of car. Then next I've got sports car. I assign two in sports car. Usually only two passengers are there. Then sports car fuel capacity has to be high, therefore 100. And sports car runs how many per liter? So I said assign 20. Maybe it is running more. So again I calculate sports car, range of sports car, and then display it here using system out print line. So let us see the output of that. As you see there, the car will travel so many kilometers with the full with 50 liters and with 4 passengers. The sports car, I think this missed here, sports car will travel 2,000 kilometers when the tank is full with 100 liters of the gas with 2 passengers. So this is the output of that program. Thank you.